Hello my beautiful friends. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Emily and it is Monday. It is the day that we take a look at all of the new makeup releases here in Pay or Stay Away. Let's go ahead and jump right on in because we have a lot of ground to cover here. So I just got back from Florida last night. I was gone for 7 days. I have not filmed in like 9 days. I feel like a hot freaking mess right now, okay? And I honestly feel like how I felt at the beginning of my channel when I first started doing videos. I feel weird, I feel uncomfortable. What do I do with my hands? I don't know, but I'm just readjusting to things. You know, I went from 85-degree weather and, 50% humidity over in Florida to like 35-degree weather and super dry air here in Washington. So my body and mind have been through the ringer here, but let's go ahead and get right on into what you guys are here for today, which is the new makeup releases. And we have so many that are super exciting. I feel very passionate about all of these. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. So let's go ahead and get this party started here with some Give Me Glow cosmetics, which if you guys are frequent to my channel, you know that I freaking love them. So I am very, very excited about this launch. They just announced that they are coming out with their Christmas morning eyeshadow palette, and we don't have a price, we don't have a launch date yet, but this is going to be their holiday 2018 collection. They're also coming out with some really beautiful highlighters, and I believe they're going to come out with some lipsticks as well. Not 100% sure about that, but I don't care about the other things. All I care about is this eyeshadow palette. Have you ever seen a palette embody Christmas better than this palette that is before your eyes right now? This is a palette that actually gets me very excited, and it gets me in the Christmas spirit. I mean, I look at this guy and it just embodies the Christmas spirit for me. I can smell the candy canes, I can taste the hot chocolate, I can see the stockings being put up, and more importantly, I see this guy landing in my makeup collection because I am most definitely going to buy this. And yes, that sentence was corny as hell, but I am very excited for this palette. I mean, look at it. It literally embodies the spirit of Christmas. We have these beautiful, like, evergreen Christmas tree colored greens. We have a gorgeous gold that embodies the star on top of the Christmas tree. And then we have that beautiful, festive, kind of muted red. And it really embodies like cranberries and Santa's outfit and everything that is Christmassy. This palette just represents for me. We've only seen 6 shades out of this palette, and from what I can see, it looks like there's more. So I'm really excited to see what the other shades are going to look like. I'm sure it's going to match the Christmas spirit as much as these do, but even if it was just these 6 shades, I think this would be perfect. I have never really seen a palette look like this before. I think it looks beautiful, and I absolutely love the Give Me Glow formula. I love their shimmers, I love their mattes, I love everything about their eyeshadows. So this is something that most definitely needs to make its way into my collection because I'm gonna be really upset if I can't get my hands on this, and something tells me that this is going to go fast because Give Me Glow always sells out of their stuff, and I don't know. I feel like they have a winner here, and it's getting me real excited for the up-and-coming Christmas month. So pushing all of my Christmas feels aside here, let's go ahead and jump right on into the next new makeup release, which is by certifye. They are coming out with their brand new Life in Color eyeshadow palette. This will be available next month. We don't have an exact date yet, but sometime in the December month. This palette will be available for 32 euros, and it contains 18 different shades. So I don't think I have to tell you guys that I like this palette and that I want to get my paws on this palette. But do I need this palette? Probably not. Let's be honest here. I have the Be Perfect palette, the collaboration they did with Stacey MUA, the Carnival palette, and that has a lot of bright colors that are pretty similar to the ones that we see here. And if I don't have it in a palette, I have these shades in single form. But something about seeing them all together and seeing them just laid out in a beautiful gradient like that is just really speaking to me and saying, buy me, you know you want it, you know you need it. And I know that I don't need it, but I definitely want it. I've never tried this brand before. I've heard that they're pretty decent, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. I know this palette has shades that I'll use in it, but because of that reason, I know that I already own these because I have a million palettes like this because I use these types of shadows all the freaking time. But I don't know, I'm on the fence. I feel like 32 euros isn't too expensive unless shipping's like an arm and a leg. Crossing my fingers that it's not, but I think this palette is beautiful. I think that it would be a fun addition to my collection, even though I probably own this already in some shape or form or somewhere in my collection. But like I said, seeing it just laid out to me like that, I am just falling straight into the marketing hold they have planted here for me, and I want this guy. But am I gonna get this guy? That is what I'm not sure about yet. But when you lay out those beautiful yellows and oranges and purples and pinks and lay it out all perfectly like that, it is almost Christmas after all, and I always use the excuse every single year that I'll buy myself something as a gift to myself, you know, treat myself. So maybe this will be my treat myself palette. Even though I already do that with like everything that I buy, it's different when it's the holiday season. Now, the next new makeup release is going to be a bit controversial, and I feel like I always choose the controversial people to talk about here in Pay or Stay Away, but nonetheless, it caught my attention and it made me feel some things that I wanted to talk about here today. So the oh so controversial Miss Kat Von D has announced her new Lolita collection. Now, this is going to consist of a Lolita eyeshadow palette, which will retail for $39, the Kat Von D inkwell in a new Lolita shade, which will be a matte liquid eyeliner, and she's also releasing a new glimmer veil in the shade Lolita, and I believe her glimmer veils are like lip toppers, if you will, that dry down, but they have a glittery finish, so they're for people who like really fun and out there lipstick looks, which is not me, obviously. But the entire Lolita collection will be available on December 10th. Now, I know, some people are not exactly the happiest with Kat Von D right now, and I completely understand, trust me. But today, I am just here for the makeup. As I've said a million times here on Pay or Stay Away, I will literally buy something from someone that I don't like if I like the product. I'm just that kind of person, I guess. I just push it aside if I want a product enough, especially when it comes to makeup, because as we all know, I'm attracted to makeup like a pigeon is to a french fry. And I don't care who dropped that french fry. I just want to get my french fry. So the first thing that stood out to me in this collection wasn't actually the palette, it was that liquid eyeliner. I think that eyeliner is beautiful. Now, I only own one shade of liquid eyeliner. It is matte black. That is all I go for. And if I want to go for a colorful eyeliner look, I'll typically just stamp some color onto my lash line and kind of smoke it out like I did today with this berry shade, but I never go for colored eyeliner. And I think this would be really fun. I've recently been liking a mauve-y kind of rosy toned look, especially since I got my Huda Beauty new nude palette. I have been obsessed with this type of eye look, which is very unexpected because usually I'm a bright colors type of gal. I could see myself creating a lot of looks with this eyeliner. I could see myself doing the look I have on today with this. I could see myself basically doing any look with the Huda Beauty new nude palette and this eyeliner together, and I think it would look beautiful. So I am interested in the eyeliner. Now, I know that Kat Von D's eyeliners are usually like 20 bucks, 25 bucks, I don't know, somewhere in the $20 price range. I think that's damn expensive for an eyeliner, but if it's special enough and I think I'll use it, then maybe I'll go ahead and pick this up. Now, the palette drew me in as well, don't get me wrong, but as I just stated, I recently bought the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. That's what I have on my eyes today, and I also own the Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauve's little quad. It's not a quad, it's a 5-pan palette. I can count, but I own that guy. I own some mauve shades, so do I really need this Lolita palette? Probably not. Am I attracted to it right now? Yeah, absolutely, and that is because of the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. I have just been loving that palette so much and loving rosy mauve tones, which is, as I said, very obscure for me, and I see this Kat Von D palette and I think, I know it looks like the Huda Beauty one, but it looks a little different, right? But in all honesty here, I don't need to purchase it. I think it's beautiful, and if someone gifted this to me for Christmas, I would be pretty happy. I'd be a happy girl, but I don't think that I need to buy this for myself because I already own those two palettes, and even if I owned just one of them, I don't think I would need to buy this anyway, because really, how far can you go with mauve, kind of cool toned, rosy toned eyeshadow? So although I think it's beautiful, I don't think that I'm going to pick it up, although things are always subject to change here in Pay or Stay Away, because I have caught myself buying so many things that I said I was not going to buy. So maybe this will be one of those situations, who really knows? But for right now, I'm not going to purchase it. So the next new makeup release is another eyeshadow palette. We are seeing so many eyeshadow palettes launch over this holiday. I don't know what's going on with them. It's like all these brands know that we like eyeshadow and they're just trying to take our coin as fast as they can, and it is working. These brands are onto us. They know exactly how to market to us, and so far, in my opinion, they're winning. Which is a scary thought because I want to hold on to my money, but at the same time, I want this makeup. So Melt Cosmetics has just announced that they're coming out with a new eyeshadow palette, which is going to be called the Smoke Sessions eyeshadow palette. This guy will be dropping on November 23rd at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, the whole theme around this eyeshadow palette is based off of a stack that they released, I believe it was last year, maybe 2017. But this palette is based off of the Haze eyeshadow stack, which was all marijuana, 420, weed-friendly related kind of themed eyeshadows. And all of the colors that they came out with were beautiful. But I remember a big concern that a lot of people had, or a big critique I should say, was that there was no like true green toned eyeshadows in this little stack, which was supposed to be based around weed, which is some sort of green shade. So in my opinion, I think that Melt Cosmetics listened to their customers and they listened to their fans, and they put together a palette that would embody marijuana, weed, whatever you want to call it. And embody weed, they did. They even went as far as to press an actual weed leaf into each and every one of these pans of eyeshadows. But I think that this color scheme is everything that their fans were asking for. We have some beautiful, kind of dirty, antique-y golds. And opposite to the golds, we have some gorgeous, really, really unique looking kind of teal, green, minty, metallic eyeshadows. And they look absolutely phenomenal. These look like a blue eyeshadow lover's dream come true. And these are all named after weed, I believe. I don't actually smoke weed. I'm kind of a square like that, but I'm kind of familiar with the culture because I live in Washington. We were one of the first states to legalize it. I'm just personally not super into it, but to each their own. I won't judge anyone who does. I don't care what you do with your free time. But the girls over at Melt Cosmetics really love their kush, and they did a really beautiful job representing it here in this palette. Now there was a specific shade that stood out to me the most, which was the shade Blue Dream. And it is this gorgeous, like minty sage green, light, super foiled looking metallic. It looks absolutely stunning. It looks so unique, and some of the eye looks that I've seen the girls do look beautiful. And just by the photo that I'm looking at here, it kind of looks like this is probably the shade that they used all over the lid. It looks so unique and bright and fresh, and it looks really interesting. But this is a palette that I'm actually really considering picking up, and I'm surprised that I want it. Lately I've been going for palettes that have been surprising me because they're not really my taste. But I think these are really beautiful shades that they chose, and I have heard that they're actual pressed palette eyeshadows, not the stacks, but the ones that are actually in the pressed palette, are not as good as the stack eyeshadows. And I don't know why that would be, but maybe it's a pressing thing. I don't know. I don't formulate makeup. But I'm really hoping that they get this right and that they don't have any issues with it this time, because I know that people had issues last time. I would really like to get my hands on this. It looks like we have a lot of metallics in this palette, let's be honest, but I'm okay with that because I don't care if I have to pair together another palette with this. I don't mind whipping open 3 different eyeshadow palettes, taking a shade from each and kind of mix and matching. I'm not opposed to that. I do it all the time, so I don't really care that this is mostly metallics. And for these types of unique shades, I will definitely work with it. Now, we don't know how much this palette is going to be, but Melt Cosmetics is on the pricier side in my opinion for an indie brand. Usually indie brands are pretty inexpensive, but Melt Cosmetics is, they're up there. They're up there with Sephora prices, but their quality has shown to be pretty decent for the most part. I mean, people love their stacks. I personally like their stacks. I have heard that their palettes aren't that good, so I'm just hoping and praying that they get that all figured out and just give us the OG stack formula metallics and mattes. The customers will be so freaking happy, so I really hope that they can get that together because these colors are gorgeous. I think I'm gonna need to add this to my collection because I don't really have anything like this. But I found something from Give Me Glow Cosmetics that actually looks pretty promising, and it looks very similar to the shade Blue Dream. And their single shadows are only $7, and this is the shade Electric Mint. Now, I don't know about you, but these guys, they look pretty similar. I would love to pick this up and try it out and see if it is similar, but unfortunately for me right now, they are currently out of stock of the shade, and they run out of the shade all the time. People really want to get their hands on it, and for good reason, because it's gorgeous and it's very unique, and I'm going to desperately try to get this because if I only have to spend $7 versus like probably $50 for the Melt Cosmetics palette, I would be really happy. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but I feel like I've been rambling on and on. I feel like I'm talking your guys' ear off, and your time is valuable. So let's go ahead and just breeze through these last 2 makeup releases here. So Colourpop is coming out with their This Is Not a Dream holiday collection, which is their holiday 2018 collection, of course. This collection is currently available now, and we have a whole bunch of different rainbow products to choose from. They are coming out with a bunch of different collections where you can get 6 lippy sticks for $25, 6 eyeshadows for $25, kind of like 6 products for $25, but they are also launching the products as singles themselves. So they have a bunch of new different lippy sticks to choose from. lots of rainbow colors. We got rainbow glosses, rainbow satin lips, rainbow matte lips. We have every type of finish and basically every color in the rainbow. This is a huge collection. Now, in my humble opinion, the centerpiece of this collection is the Chasing Rainbows eyeshadow palette, and that will be retailing for $20. And the name of this palette describes it perfectly. We have all sorts of different rainbow toned shades in here, which is really beautiful. But I already own a bunch of colorful eyeshadows, and I've already mentioned a few palettes here on this list that consist of colorful eyeshadows that I already want to pick up. So this guy I am totally okay with skipping over. I do think it's a great price though, and I think that if you are interested in trying a rainbow palette but you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, or you just want to dip your toes into rainbow, I think this is a good way to go. You can also buy this entire collection as a PR set for $300, which I think is insane. I mean, no. I'm not spending $300 on an entire PR collection, okay? But there is something in this collection that is calling out to me, and that is the Jelly Much eyeshadows. They are coming out with 8 different shades. They are going to be $8 each. You can get them in a little set, or you can just purchase them individually. And I think these look really beautiful. As the name states, these are jelly eyeshadows. So when you stick your finger in, they kind of bounce back a little bit. I have one of these already, but it's not from Colourpop. It's from Butter London, I believe. And the texture is whatever to me. Some people don't like it. I don't really care. It just feels kind of cooling on your eyes, and then it sets and dries down. It doesn't really move throughout the day, so I don't mind this type of product. But I really love the shades that they came out with for this collection. We have all sorts of beautiful iridescents. We have iridescent purple, iridescent green, iridescent blue, iridescent pink. We have all of the beautiful iridescent-y, rainbowy, unicorny shades that we could possibly have here. And saying that sentence was a mouthful and a half. So I'm considering picking up one of the Jelly Much eyeshadows. As I said, I have a lot of things that I want to buy on this list, and this is lower on the list just because I feel like I can get this probably anytime. I feel like I can go into Ulta and pick this up real quick, and I feel like I just don't really have to rush to purchase this. I don't feel like these are going to sell out because a lot of people are creeped out by the jelly texture, or they just don't want to deal with something that is a little bit harder to work with, like a jelly type eyeshadow. So I don't feel like these are going to fly off the shelves by any means, so I am a-okay with patiently waiting here and, you know, purchasing a few other things that might actually fly off the shelf, like the Give Me Glow palette that I want so badly. But I think that these are beautiful, and I wouldn't mind trying them. I think the colors are right up my alley, and out of the entire collection, this is really the only thing that's drawing me in, but I think I do want to add this to my collection at some point, just not this second. I also feel like it's kind of weird to come out with a rainbow collection for holiday. I mean, do you, Colourpop? They're always trying to do something unique and different and trying to do something that people wouldn't guess, so I understand. It's on brand for them, but if this was any other brand, it would be so freaking weird. But somehow for Colourpop, it works. And I have been sitting here talking for 40 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with me. I am just a hot mess, as I always am, but even more so today. And if you guys notice my little extension friends hanging out here, they just want to hang out and they want to join the party. They can't keep themselves contained today. I don't know what's wrong with that. Having extensions can be extremely rough and hard to conceal sometimes. But with that being said, that is going to be wrapping up this week's very rambly and random and off the wall pay or stay away. I got a little bit carried away there, but just sometimes it happens. But as you guys always do, please do let me know down in the comments what is catching your attention out of these new makeup releases. Is there some that I didn't talk about? Is there some that you want to tell me about that you might want me to try? Because I am always open to suggestions, and I just like hearing about what you guys are interested in and what you're not interested in. We can all chat here in the little cul-de-sac of makeup friends. But I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I am doing pay or stay away every single Monday, and during the rest of the week I got all sorts of makeup goodness happening here on this channel, so I really hope that you consider subscribing. I do also hope that you consider giving this video a big old thumbs up and turning on the notification bell if you enjoy my videos and you want to be notified when I am posting. But I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful and bright and sunny day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!